Here, I have a PowerPoint, so I'm just going to share that. Um, Hello everyone, my name is Cherry, and today I'll be talking a little bit about my leadership journey. So without further ado, okay, so hello everyone. I'd like to start my presentation with a quick overview of what I'll be talking about today. I'll begin by sharing a little bit about myself and how my leadership journey began. Then I'll talk about my experiences volunteer outside of school, followed by my involvement in high school clubs and leadership roles. After that, I'll touch on some of my other extracurriculars, and finally I'll wrap up with a few application tips and tricks that I learned along the way. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, my name is Cherry Wang, and I'm currently a first-year computer engineering student at the University of Waterloo. I'm incredibly honored to have received the 2025 Schulich Leader Scholarship, and I'm really excited to share a bit about my journey with all of you today. If anyone would like to connect or has more questions after this workshop, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I love to chat and ease any application worries or just talking in general. A little about myself. I immigrated to Canada when I was in grade 4. Back then, I didn't speak any English, so I had to learn everything from scratch. That language barrier made it hard to communicate and make friends. And for a long time, I was afraid to speak up, worried that I make mistakes or that people wouldn't understand me. Over time, my English improved, but my confidence didn't keep pace. I remained quiet and sheltered, and many would probably describe me as shy. I really wanted to change that, but I didn't know where to start. At the time, I was really into drawing and art, and I thought that meeting like-minded peers might help me make connections. So I started looking online and found a local free art program called Art City. Hesitantly, I decided to check it out. I was immediately drawn to the warmth of the staff, the fun activities, and the overwhelming sense of acceptance. I kept going back, and eventually I qualified for their team leadership program, Art Squad. In Art Squad, I took on roles such as creating fundraiser plans with local charity, working on large projects like painting murals, and setting examples for younger kids. Through these experiences, I gained confidence in talking with people, developed ideas, and learned to speak up about them, and really started to show who I am and who I wanted to be. There are quite a few programs like that in Winnipeg, so if you're ever looking to get involved or start something new, I definitely recommend doing some research and checking them out. You don't always have to start as a participant. If you already have some skills, you can volunteer and contribute in other ways. Through Art Squad, I became more comfortable with who I am and gained a lot of confidence because of that growth. I decided to start looking into volunteering, and I wanted to become someone who helped others in the same way others had once helped me. The very first place I volunteered at was at a Boys and Girls Club called West Broadway Youth Outreach. At that time, I was still quite young, so there wasn't many places I could volunteer. Luckily, West Broadway had a junior volunteering position where early teens could contribute. There, I did mix of tutoring, speaking with children, playing with them, and kept them safe on outings. This experience was quite fun, and I really enjoyed it, actually. One moment that really stood out to me was when I helped a young girl learn her multiplication tables in just half an hour. She went from struggling to solving them confidently in seconds. It was such a fulfilling experience to help students grow academically. Talking with the young kids also helped me build my own confidence. I learned to think quickly, communicate clearly, and speak up when I needed to. After some time volunteering there, I also began helping at Art City. This time not as a participant, but as a volunteer. I worked with my peers in Art Squad and also filled in as casual volunteer whenever organization needed extra support. I got to help with a variety of projects, the Art City Parade, Halloween Haunted House, winter community events, pottery workshops, and even snack making sessions. It was a lot of fun. And while it seemed like I was helping others, I was also continuing to grow personally.
During this time, I started to realize that while art was something I enjoyed, it wasn't what I wanted to pursue as a career. I became especially drawn to workshops that involved computers, things like 3D printing, photo editing, and video game designs. But I'll come back to that later. Around the same time, I also joined the Bear Clan Youth Patrol, a volunteering group that supported the unhoused community in Winnipeg. This work was incredibly meaningful to me because it allowed me to see and understand people I used to fear. We handed out food, water, clothing, and hygiene products. Did community cleanups, disposed of needles safely, checked on people's well-being, and even helped search for missing individuals during patrols. This experience changed the way I saw the world. It helped me overcome a fear with empathy and gave me a deep understanding of what community truly means. While all those things were going on, I was also quite involved in my school community. I was the founder and leader of our school's chess club. That was the very first taste I had of doing planning and organizing something on my own. At first, we just had weekly chess meetings where we got to play chess against each other and joke around. However, as time went on, it became more structured, and we even had school-wide chess competitions. This experience helped me become more comfortable in leading and preparing for my next leadership role in my school. Because I had developed an interest in computers, I naturally joined my school's tech clubs. I started out as a participant, getting help from the leaders and enjoying the activity they organized. But during the year before their graduation, the club leaders offered to mentor me and eventually pass on the leadership roles. I was honestly nervous at first. I was still new to coding and hardware design, and teaching something so technical wasn't something I've done before. But I decided to take on the challenge. My very first Hack Club meeting was, well, kind of a disaster. People were having technical issues left and right. The pace that I was teaching at was too fast for some and too slow for others. After the meeting, I felt disappointed, but not discouraged. I learned from that experience and adapted my workshops. I started adding extra challenges for advanced students so that while I help the beginners, the more experienced students can stay engaged. I also began testing everything in advance on the school computer to make sure programs work properly before each session. These small adjustments made a huge difference. The workshop ran much more smoothly and students seemed more excited to participate. One of the biggest part of this role was organizing hackathons. I had the chance to lead 4 hackathons during my time as Hack Club leader. These were full-day events where students collaborated to design and build projects that solve real-world problems. I love seeing how creative and innovative everyone could be. And honestly, I also enjoyed them because it meant getting to spend the whole day doing something fun. And yes, maybe skipping a little bit of school. But overall, these experiences taught me not just technical skills, but also how to adapt, lead, and support others, even when things don't go perfectly the first time. I was also part of my school's student council where we organized school engagement activities, Spirit Week events, and gym rides to help build school spirit and community. I really enjoyed decorating the school during special times of the year, hearing feedbacks from students who were positively or negatively impacted by the events we planned. I also took part in a variety of other extracurricular activities over the years. One of them was SHAD Canada, a month-long STEAM summer program where we lived on a university campus, attended workshops, and listened to guest speakers during the program. We also worked in teams to design projects that addressed real-world issues. The theme for my year was clean energy, and my group came up with a concept for a solar paneling system that could help power a city. It was such a great experience. I got a taste of what university life would be and met so many inspiring students from all over Canada. Although SHAD is a paid program, there are many full and partial scholarships available to cover the cost. Another opportunity I participated was the Caring for Our Watershed competition, and I placed 3rd in the competition, which it is recommended to me by my science teacher. It's an environmental competition where students develop sustainability proposals to help protect our local watersheds. If you're looking for ways to enhance your application but don't have a long-term activity, I highly recommend looking to competitions like these. In Winnipeg, we don't always have competitions available, so it might take some time to find them. However, you can also look for virtual competitions or even submit a personal project, anything that lets you show your skills, initiative, and creativity. I also did some research for a student-made website called SkillStream Canada, which helps students find extracurricular activities. And I was in charge of compiling information for the Manitoba and Alberta provinces. This project is currently discontinued, sadly, but it was a great experience that taught me how to research effectively and collaborate remotely with other students. I took part in the Waterloo Fermat math competition. It was something I did just for fun because the questions are actually really hard and you're not supposed to know every single question. And it's a great challenge, a great way to challenge your skills and basically do some extra brain activities. Even if you don't win, it's a great learning experience and can be an excellent addition to your application or resume. Lastly, I've also worked part-time at Chatime, a bubble tea shop. Aside from earning money, having a part-time job looks great on applications. It shows dedication, time management, and financial responsibility. Plus, working in customer service really helped me improve my communication skills and learn how to interact professionally with people. Okay. Now let's talk about what I think made me stand out for the scholarship that I got. Well, what I think made me stand out as an applicant wasn't just the number of activities I had, but the way I approached them. I tried to focus on quality over quantity. I really taking on leadership roles, pushing myself to learn, and showing commitment over time. I also made sure to reflect on how each experiences shaped me, what I learned, how I grew, and how I made an impact on others. I think what really helped was authenticity. I didn't try to impress anyone by exaggerating my achievement. I just shared my story honestly, showing who I am and what I care about. Finally, what some of you might be waiting for, my tips and tricks on getting scholarship and university acceptance. Of course, this is not guaranteed, but it's something that I think might help. During my senior year of high school, I applied to a lot of scholarships. Some I heard back from, some I got interviews for, and for many, I didn't get selected. But through that process, I learned a lot. One of the most important lessons was to tailor your story to what the scholarship or university is looking for. It's great if you've done a lot of activities, but if they don't align with the foundation's value or goals, they might not stand out as much. Take the time to highlight the experiences that really shows why you fit their mission. Another tip is to practice for recorded interviews. Some scholarship and even university applications include a video interview where you're asked questions and have a limited time to respond. It can be nerve-wracking and you might stumble or lose your train of thought. I definitely did during my first few. So practice. Record yourself, time your responses, and get used to speaking naturally on camera. Also, be honest about your extracurriculars. I was lucky to have quite a few experiences to include, but even I left some sections blank. And that's okay. You don't need to fill every single box. What matters is authenticity. Don't exaggerate your hours or involvement. Viewers can often tell when something is unrealistic, and if you're ever unsure about how to report something, reach out and email the foundation to ask. They'll appreciate your honesty. If you're someone who is currently looking at your grades and worrying about everything, I want to say that while grades do matter, they aren't everything. Who you are, what you've done, and the effort you've shown matters just as much. Sometimes even more. Universities and scholarship committees want to see your passion, initiative, and character, not just your grades. Lastly, I want to say that application can be stressful. I remember staying up till 2 a.m. some nights trying to perfect every word. So when you are applying for university or scholarships, Do your best, be genuine, and don't forget to take care of yourself during the process. Thank you all so much for listening to my story. I hope that if there's one thing you take away from today, it's that growth doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being brave enough to start. Whether that means joining a club, volunteering, or simply stepping out of your comfort zone. Every small step counts. I'm really grateful for this opportunity I've had and the people who helped me along the way. And I hope my journey inspires you to keep pushing towards your own goal, no matter how far away they may seem. Thank you.